Welcome back to my channel, Valuable Rare Coins. If you love discovering hidden treasures in your pocket change, you're in the right place. First, we'll uncover some of the most valuable and rare US coins that could be worth a fortune. Let's dive in. We're diving into the remarkable story of the Virginia State Quarter, minted in the year 2000 with the D mark from the Denver Mint. This isn't just any state quarter. This one could be a hidden treasure. Before you spend that change on a vending machine snack, take a close look. Because one very special version of this Virginia quarter has been known to sell for a jaw-dropping sum that will leave you stunned. And yes, we'll tell you exactly how much at the end, so stay with us. Let's set the scene. It was the year 2000, the turn of the millennium, and the U.S. Mint was deep into its 50 state quarters program, which had become a national sensation. Every year, 5 new quarters were being released, each one honoring a different state and its rich history. Millions of Americans were collecting them, watching eagerly as new designs entered circulation. It was more than just a series, it was a celebration of American identity, one coin at a time, and then came Virginia's turn. With its deep historical roots and central role in the birth of the nation, expectations were high and the design delivered. On the reverse side of the Virginia quarter, you'll find one of the most iconic images in American colonial history: the 3 ships that brought English settlers to the New World in 1607. The Susan Constant, the Godspeed, and the Discovery. These 3 vessels carried the settlers who would establish the first permanent English settlement in what would become the United States, Jamestown, Virginia. Above the ships, you'll see the inscription Jamestown 1607 to 2007, acknowledging the 400th anniversary of this historic voyage. The image is rich in detail: sails unfurled, flags flying, the ships cutting through the waves. It's a tribute to exploration, resilience, and the beginnings of a new nation. The words Virginia 1788 mark the year Virginia officially became the 10th state to ratify the Constitution. Flip the coin to the front and you'll see the familiar portrait of George Washington, facing left as he has on all U.S. quarters since 1932. But right next to his hair, you'll spot something small, but extremely important: the D Mint mark. That means this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the major facilities responsible for creating circulating coinage for the United States. Now, you might be thinking, this is all very interesting. But what makes this coin different from the millions of others like it? Well, here's where things take a turn. Like many quarters in the 50 state quarters series, the Virginia quarter was produced in massive quantities. More than 900 million were minted. But as any coin collector will tell you, it's not about how many were made, it's about how few were made with mistakes. And that brings us to mint errors. Some of the most valuable coins in existence aren't the oldest or the shiniest. They're the ones that slipped through the cracks with something just a little off. An extra detail, a missing letter, a doubling of the design, or even a misalignment in the strike. These minting errors are what collectors dream of, and the Virginia quarter has its own set of fascinating mistakes. Point 1 of the rarest involves a double die error, where elements of the design, such as the rigging on the ships or the inscriptions, appear to be doubled. It's subtle, but when spotted under magnification, the effect is clear and unmistakable. Another version shows off-center strikes, where the image on the coin is shifted slightly to one side. These small mistakes often happen when the coin isn't perfectly aligned during production, and they create a coin that's both rare and visually distinct. There are even stories of Virginia quarters being struck on the wrong metal planchets, meaning the design of the quarter appears on a coin blank intended for a different denomination. Imagine holding a quarter that weighs differently, looks off, and turns out to be a one-of-a-kind minting accident, but it doesn't stop at errors. Condition plays an enormous role in a coin's value. A Virginia quarter that's circulated, been through wallets, cash registers, parking meters, will naturally lose its sharp details and shine. But an uncirculated coin, one that's been kept in pristine condition since it left the mint, can fetch a premium price on its own, and when you combine an unblemished, Uncirculated Virginia quarter from the Denver Mint with a known and documented minting error. You're entering serious collector territory. So, how do you know if you're holding something special? Start by examining your coin carefully. Look at the sails and lines on the ships. Do any appear to have extra lines or shadows that shouldn't be there? Are the inscriptions crisp and clean, or are they doubled? Is the coin perfectly centered? If anything looks even slightly off, you may be looking at a valuable error coin. If your coin looks promising, your next step is to have it graded and authenticated by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. These experts will examine your coin with extreme precision, assign it a grade from 1 to 70, and label any known error types. Once your coin is graded, it's sealed in a protective case, officially certified, and suddenly very desirable to collectors around the world. And now for the moment you've been waiting for. A rare version of the Virginia quarter. Minted in 2000 at the Denver Mint, featuring a well-documented minting error and preserved in near-perfect, uncirculated condition, was sold to a passionate collector not long ago. The final price: a jaw-dropping total of $65,000. Yes, you heard that right. A 25-cent piece turned into a small fortune, all because of a small error and the care taken to preserve it. So the next time you're sifting through your coins or emptying your pockets, don't rush. Take a moment. Look closely. You might just be holding more than spare change. You could be holding a piece of history and maybe even your own unexpected treasure. Second rare coin, we're talking about the Arkansas State Quarter, minted in 2003, carrying the historic date 1836 and struck at the Philadelphia Mint, marked by the small but mighty letter P. Now, don't be fooled by its everyday appearance. This quarter is part of the legendary 50 State Quarters program, but there's something unique about the Arkansas version that has turned it into a major talking point among serious coin collectors. It may seem like just another quarter, but if you've got the right one in your collection, one with just the right mix of rarity, condition, and an unusual twist, it could be worth far more than you'd ever expect. Let's rewind the clock and talk about what makes this coin stand out. Arkansas was the 25th coin released in the 50 State Quarters series, a wildly popular U.S. mint initiative that ran from 1999 through 2008. It aimed to celebrate each of the 50 states with a design that captured its unique story, history, or character. Arkansas, admitted to the Union in 1836, received its chance to shine in 2003. And what a design it is! The reverse side of the Arkansas quarter is a showcase of natural beauty. At the center is a stunning diamond, an homage to Crater of Diamonds State Park, the only diamond-bearing site in the world where the public can search and keep what they find. Above the diamond, you'll see a soaring mallard duck in flight, wings outstretched, rising from a serene lake. In the background are tall pine trees, representing the state's rich forests and timber industry. Together, the scene blends elegance, wildlife, and natural resources into one powerful image of the natural state. Beneath the image is the inscription Arkansas 1836, the year it became a state, and E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. On the obverse side is the familiar profile of George Washington, America's first president, accompanied by the words United States of America and $quarter. Just to the right of Washington's ponytail, there's a small P, the mint mark that tells us this particular coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Now here's where things get interesting. Although Arkansas quarters were minted in large numbers, over 200 million from the Philadelphia Mint alone, not all of them are created equal. Some contain rare flaws. Others were struck in exceptional condition. And then a very select few have both of these factors, and that's where value begins to skyrocket. Let's talk about minting errors. In coin collecting, a mint error is like a signature from fate. These are coins that left the U.S. Mint with imperfections that shouldn't be there, doubling in the design, misalignments, extra metal, or missing details. When a coin ends up with a dramatic and visible minting error, collectors go wild for it. With the Arkansas quarter, there have been reports of coins with double die errors, particularly on the lettering or the diamond's facets. In these rare cases, the doubling effect is visible to the naked eye, creating a shadow-like appearance on the letters or parts of the image. Other quarters have shown dyed chips, where bits of metal appear like raised blobs on parts of the coin due to damage or cracks in the die. Then there's the off-center strike. When the coin is not aligned correctly during minting, the design ends up off-balance, sometimes cutting off parts of the image or text. These types of errors, especially if severe, are highly collectible, especially when combined with an overall high-quality strike. Now, combine a known mint error with near-perfect condition, and you've got something extremely rare. That brings us to the next factor: grade and condition. In coin collecting, condition is king. A coin's condition is graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A grade of MS, mint state, 60 or higher indicates that a coin has never been circulated. It has no signs of wear and maintains its original luster. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Most Arkansas quarters have been passed around in pocket change, worn down by everyday use. But a very few were pulled from circulation early, preserved carefully, and kept in pristine condition. These high-grade coins, especially those graded MS, 67 or above, are rare and already fetch high prices on their own. If one of these also happens to have a rare error, now you're entering the realm of once-in-a-lifetime finds. How can you tell if your Arkansas quarter might be valuable? Start by checking for the P mint mark. Then look closely at the diamond, the duck swings, the lettering, especially for any signs of doubling or distortion. Is the image centered properly? Are all the details sharp and clean with no sign of wear? A coin magnifier can help you spot subtle features that may go unnoticed at first glance, and if you think you've got something special, don't guess, get it professionally graded. Services like PCGS or NGC can certify the authenticity, error type, and grade of your coin. This not only confirms your coin's status, but greatly increases its market value and appeal to collectors. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. While the average Arkansas quarter is worth exactly 25 cents, one incredibly rare version, minted in Philadelphia, featuring a known minting error and graded in near-perfect, uncirculated condition, has stunned collectors at auction. The final selling price, a jaw-dropping total of $50,000. Yes, $50,000 for a single quarter that most people would never think twice about. So, the next time you check your change, remember this story. Because that plain-looking Arkansas quarter in your hand could be a hidden gem, literally and figuratively. It could be your gateway into the fascinating world of rare coin collecting, and maybe even a serious payday. Third expensive coin, we're diving into the fascinating story behind one of the more recent yet surprisingly valuable quarters, the United States Perry's Victory Quarter from 2013, minted in Denver, marked with that distinctive D. On the surface, it might seem like just another coin from the America the Beautiful series, but stick around, because this quarter holds a story of valor, history, and, believe it or not, some serious worth that might just blow your mind. Let's start with the history, because every great coin has a story behind it, and the Perry's Victory Quarter is no exception. This coin honors Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial, located on South Base Island in Lake Erie, Ohio. The monument commemorates Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry and the American naval victory over the British during the Battle of Lake Erie in the War of 1812. This battle was a pivotal moment that helped secure the Northwest Territory for the United States and paved the way for peace between the nations. Now, the coin's design truly reflects this legacy. The reverse side features an imposing image of the towering Perry's Victory Memorial itself, with detailed columns and the flag flying high above. It's a symbol of strength, remembrance, and reconciliation. Around the edge, you'll find inscriptions noting Perry's Victory, Ohio, and the year 2013, along with E Pluribus Unum and United States of America. On the front side, the classic profile of George Washington graces the coin, as always, with the D mint mark just beside his hair, signaling its Denver origin. But what makes this 2013 Perry's Victory Quarter truly special isn't just its design or its tribute to history, it's the rarity and condition that collectors chase. While millions of these quarters were minted, very few have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition, and even fewer have the unique characteristics that raise their value exponentially. One key factor to watch for is minting errors. Occasionally, coins slip through the production process with anomalies, perhaps a double die, where elements of the design appear doubled or shadowed, or off-center strikes where the image isn't perfectly aligned on the coin blank. These kinds of errors turn an ordinary coin into a collector's treasure because each error is essentially one of a kind. In addition to errors, condition plays a huge role. A quarter that looks brand new, with every detail crisp and no sign of wear, can be dramatically more valuable than one that's been jostled through pocket change over the years. When you combine a rare error with an immaculate condition, collectors often bid fiercely to add that coin to their collection. How do you know if your Perry's Victory Quarter could be worth more than face value? Start by examining it closely with a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Look for any doubled images on the lettering or the monument. Check the centering of the design, and ensure the coin surface is free from scratches or dullness. If something seems unusual, it might just be a mint error. Next, consider professional grading. This is where experts assess the coin's condition and certify its authenticity and grade. Coins graded at the top end of the scale, especially with certified mint errors, can fetch astonishing prices on the collector's market, and here's the big reveal. While most Perry's Victory Quarters are worth their face value, or just a little more to collectors, one particularly rare and perfectly preserved Denver minted quarter with known error characteristics recently stunned the numismatic world by selling for an incredible sum. The value: a whopping $30,000. Yes, $30,000 for a single quarter, an ordinary piece of metal transformed by history, rarity, and condition into a treasure beyond imagination. Next time you come across a Perry's Victory Quarter, remember, it might just be a gateway to the thrilling world of coin collecting and could potentially be worth far more than you think. Especially, we're shining the spotlight on a truly fascinating piece from the 50-State Quarters series, the Texas Quarter from 2004, minted in Denver and marked with that iconic D. At first glance, it might just look like another quarter, but beneath its copper-nickel surface lies a rich story and surprising value that might just make you rethink the coins in your collection. Texas, the Lone Star State, holds a special place in American history. Admitted to the Union in 1845, Texas is famous for its rugged spirit, vast landscapes, and legendary independence. The 2004 Texas Quarter celebrates all of this with a striking design that reflects the state's unique heritage. On the reverse side, you'll find a bold depiction of the famous Texas Lone Star flag waving proudly, accompanied by the outline of the state itself. It's a design full of pride, symbolizing Texas's strength, independence, and vast size. Alongside this, the words Texas 1845 are clearly inscribed, anchoring the coin firmly in history. On the front side, as with all quarters in the series, we see the classic portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States, along with the D mint mark, showing that this particular coin came from the Denver Mint. Now, what makes this quarter so much more than just a piece of everyday change? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and minting quirks that have catapulted it to the top of collectors' wish lists. Although millions of Texas quarters were minted, only a fraction have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. Most coins see heavy circulation, leaving them scratched, worn, and far less valuable. But those that have remained in near-perfect condition, retaining their original luster and sharp detail, are highly prized. They represent a snapshot of history frozen in time, making them incredibly desirable for collectors who seek the best examples. Beyond condition, mint errors add a thrilling twist to this story. Occasionally, during the minting process, small mistakes occur, maybe a doubling of the letters, a misaligned strike, or a die crack that leaves a raised line on the coin's surface. These errors, though rare, turn an ordinary quarter into a unique collector's item. With the Texas quarter, some rare error coins have shown slight doubling effects on the text or minor shifts in the star design. When paired with exceptional condition, these minting errors can send the value soaring. If you think you might have a Texas quarter worth more than just its face value, here's what to look for. Examine the coin under good lighting and a magnifying glass. Check the details of the star and flag, look closely at the lettering for any doubling or anomalies, and assess how well-centered the design is on the coin. If everything appears flawless, or if you notice something unusual, it's worth getting the coin professionally graded and authenticated by a trusted service. Once a coin is graded, it can be placed in front of collectors and investors worldwide. High-grade, error-bearing Texas quarters have become hot commodities, with some fetching incredible sums at auction. And here comes the big reveal. While most Texas quarters trade hands for just a few dollars, one extraordinarily rare, error-bearing, and perfectly preserved quarter minted in Denver recently sold for an astonishing amount. The price it commanded? A staggering $45,000. Yes, $45,000 for a single quarter, a piece of history, art, and rarity all rolled into one. So next time you're sorting through your coins, don't overlook the Texas quarter from 2004. It could be more than just a souvenir. It could be your ticket to a remarkable discovery. Last unique coin, we're exploring a piece of American history and natural beauty captured in a small but powerful coin, the United States quarter dollar from the Arches National Park series, minted in Denver in 2014, marked with that D. On the surface, it might seem like just another quarter, but this coin carries a story of grandeur, nature, and yes, hidden value that could surprise you. Arches National Park, located in Utah, is a breathtaking landscape filled with over 2,000 natural sandstone arches. It's a place where geology and time have worked together to create some of the most iconic natural formations in the world. The 2014 Arches quarter celebrates this stunning national treasure with a design that truly captures its essence. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find a striking image of the delicate arch, one of the park's most famous landmarks. The arch itself stands tall and majestic, framed by the rugged terrain and the horizon. Above the arch, the inscription reads Arches along with Utah and the year 2014. The phrase E pluribus unum and United States of America encircle the design, completing this tribute to America's natural wonders. On the obverse side, as usual, George Washington's profile is featured, with the D mint mark just to the right, showing this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Now, millions of these Arches quarters were released into circulation, making them common enough for everyday use. But here's the twist. While most are just ordinary coins, some very rare specimens have captured the attention of serious collectors. What makes a coin like this valuable beyond its face value? It comes down to two main factors: rarity and condition. First, rarity. Coins that have unique minting errors like doubled dies, off-center strikes, or missing details stand out in the eyes of collectors. These minting anomalies are essentially printing mistakes that occur during the coin's production, making each error coin one of a kind. For the 2014 Arches quarter, there have been reports of doubled die errors, especially on the lettering or parts of the arch, which greatly increase their rarity and desirability. Next is condition. Coins that have been carefully preserved in uncirculated condition, meaning they haven't suffered wear and tear from circulation, can command much higher prices. These coins maintain their original shine, crisp details, and full design clarity, which is what serious collectors look for. A high-grade Arches quarter, especially one with a minting error, can fetch prices far beyond its face value. So, how can you tell if your Arches quarter might be worth more than a simple 25 cents? Take a close look under good lighting, perhaps with a magnifying glass. Check for any doubling in the letters, especially in the inscriptions Arches or United States of America. Look carefully at the arch itself. Are there any anomalies or signs that the coin was struck off-center? Also, assess the coin's surface. Is it shiny and free from scratches or tarnish? If you believe you have a coin that fits these criteria, the next step is to get it professionally graded and certified. Grading services like PCGS or NGC examine coins under expert scrutiny, assign an official grade, and verify any error features. This certification can add tremendous credibility and value to your coin, opening the door to serious offers from collectors worldwide. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for. While most Arches quarters are worth their face value, one exceptionally rare, mint error-bearing, and perfectly preserved Arches quarter from the Denver Mint recently fetched a jaw-dropping price at auction. That price? An astounding $25,000. Yes, $25,000 for a single quarter. This small piece of metal, featuring a stunning natural monument, has become a sought-after treasure in the coin collecting world. So next time you find an Arches quarter in your pocket or change jar, remember that you could be holding more than just a souvenir. You might be holding a piece of history and a potential fortune. Thanks for joining me on this journey through nature's beauty and coin collecting excitement. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future coin discoveries. Until next time, keep exploring, keep collecting, and keep your eyes open. You never know what treasures are waiting for you.